Hello everyone, with exam 2 around the corner, I thought I would do a quick video going over the information needed for exam 2. This information is also posted under exam information module. Exam 2 will be similar to exam 1. It will be open Monday morning at 12:01 a.m. and it will close Tuesday night at 11:59 p.m. You'll have 3 hours to complete it. It's around 25 questions, but some questions have multiple parts to it. That's why I said around. Once the exam has been open, you cannot stop or pause it. There have been formula sheets uploaded for you, and there's also a Z-table sheet that has also been uploaded. You feel free to print these out and use them on the exam. They're there for your convenience. I've also uploaded a practice worksheet. It's a good review. I have posted the worksheet and the answers for the worksheet. I will also have a video up shortly going over the questions for that worksheet. I strongly recommend you work on the worksheet and see where you are understanding information, not understanding information, and then watch the video to figure out where mistakes potentially are made or what is not 100% clicking. But I do strongly recommend doing the worksheet. Please note you had a review question 7.11 and know that there are an infinite number of normal distributions. Every time our mu and sigma change, we have a different normal curve. You will see that again, so know it's infinite. Other things you should know for the exam. Know what, when you take 0 factorial, what do you get when you have a 0 factorial? Know how to set up a choose function, your NC of x. Know your central limit theorem and what it means. Know that as population, not population, but as your sample size increases, that you tend to go more to a normal distribution, or it averages out to the true value of the mean as you get more people in your study. Know the different statistical levels of a p-value. Know the difference between highly statistically significant, marginally significant, or not significant at all. Know how to find a z percentile. So when you have a z percentile, you'll have a z percentile number. You look up that number as the probability in the back of the book and find the z value associated with that number. Know when I'm asking you to find an expected number, it's the same thing as finding an average. If you expect to see 20 people at a party, you're averaging about 20 people at a party. An expected number average is the same thing. So if I ask for an expected number, something, I'm asking you to find the average for it. Know how to calculate binomial probabilities and cumulative probabilities. Know how to calculate the z-score. Know how to find values that correspond to normal probabilities. Also know how to write a null hypothesis, an alternative hypothesis, a null hypothesis stating a no difference. So whatever the population mu is at, your null hypothesis is mu equals the population at that specific time. It always equals to something, and then remember that your alternative hypothesis is going to be the one that states a difference. It's the one that you're actually looking for. Know that they have to be opposites of each other, and you're using, I think the biggest thing that I've seen people miss is you're using the same value for both. So your null hypothesis is going to state like mu will equal 80, and then your alternative hypothesis is either going to be mu is less than 80, not equal to 80, or greater than 80. But no, you're using the same number because that's how you're going to test against it. Know how to calculate a p-value. So after you get a z-score and find the probability associated, how you find a p-value associated with a particular z-score. And then based on alpha and p-value, whether or not you would accept or reject a null hypothesis. So know that once you look at your alpha level and then you have a p-value, if your p-value is less than your alpha level, you will reject the null hypothesis, and then state the significance of your p-value that you found. If your p-value is greater than your alpha level, then you will have to what we call accept a null hypothesis, or you fail to reject your null hypothesis is the more correct way to state that. If you know all this information and you do well on the practice worksheet that has been uploaded, I think you'll do fine on the exam. Just know you do have 3 hours, so if you have time to go back and look at the questions and slow down, I highly recommend it. Don't try to go too quickly through them. And also make sure that when you upload your worksheet or your work associated with the exam, that it is labeled clearly. I can find, if I'm looking at it, I can find question 15 fairly quickly through your work and know where problems arise and how you actually worked out the problem. If you don't have work associated with a problem or don't submit it, I can only grade on what is in front of me. There were a couple instances where people fat-fingered for whatever reason and put some weird values in for answers on exam 1, but thankfully they put their work, and their work had the correct answer, so I was able to go back through their work and determine that they actually did have the correct answer and give points that way. So please make sure you clearly write out all the problems and show all your work, and that way I can give as many points as possible for the exam. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. If not, good luck studying, and wish you all well.